Moon built by aliens and secret alien bases refers to theories suggesting that Earth's moon is an artificial structure created by extraterrestrial intelligence. Proponents point to the moon's unusually circular orbit and its perfect positioning for solar eclipses as potential evidence of intelligent design. The moon's lower density compared to Earth has led some to speculate that it may be hollow or partially hollow, possibly housing alien bases. Some moon rocks retrieved during Apollo missions have been dated as older than Earth rocks, fueling theories about the moon's artificial origins. Transient lunar phenomena, unexplained flashes of light or color changes on the lunar surface, are cited as possible signs of active alien technology.
Termed transient lunar phenomena, people that study the moon see changes, typically very short term, such as clouds that appear on the moon, or discolorations, or brightening and darkening. The reason for these transient lunar phenomena that we see from our vantage point is still a mystery, but accounts of something seemingly wrong with the moon's appearance on a short-term basis go back a very long time, possibly as early as the 6th century, and persist to this day with surprising regularity of reports.
The extended reverberations of moonquakes recorded during Apollo missions have been interpreted by some as evidence of large caverns or a hollow structure. The spaceship moon theory, proposed by Soviet scientists in 1970, suggested the moon could be a hollowed-out planetoid created by advanced beings. Unusual structures observed on the lunar surface, such as the shard and tower, are sometimes interpreted as potential alien constructions. The far side of the moon, perpetually hidden from Earth, is speculated to host secret alien bases away from human observation. Moon landing hoax theories refer to the belief that the Apollo missions, particularly Apollo 11, never actually landed humans on the moon. Proponents argue that NASA faked the moon landings to win the space race against the Soviet Union during the Cold War. One of the main pieces of evidence cited is the lack of stars visible in the lunar sky in photographs and video footage from the missions. Some theorists point to the way the American flag appears to wave on the moon, despite the lack of atmosphere, suggesting it was filmed on a stage with artificial wind. The perfect framing and lighting of certain iconic photographs are sometimes interpreted as evidence of professional studio setups rather than spontaneous lunar photography. Conspiracy theorists argue that the Van Allen radiation belts surrounding Earth would have been lethal to the astronauts, making the journey impossible with 1960s technology.
Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
And it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to.
Some believe that filmmaker Stanley Kubrick was involved in staging the moon landings, citing supposed similarities between the lunar footage and his film 2001: A Space Odyssey. The lack of a visible blast crater under the lunar module in photographs is sometimes presented as proof that the craft never actually landed on the moon's surface. Morphogenetic fields refers to a theory proposed by biologist Rupert Sheldrake, suggesting invisible organizing fields that guide the development and behavior of organisms. These fields are hypothesized to contain a collective memory for each species, influencing everything from physical form to instinctive behaviors. Proponents argue that morphogenetic fields could explain complex biological processes not fully accounted for by DNA and chemical interactions alone. The regeneration abilities of organisms like planarian flatworms are cited as potential evidence for guiding fields beyond genetic information. Sheldrake's concept of morphic resonance suggests that these fields can span time, allowing organisms to access ancestral memories or knowledge. Some researchers propose that morphogenetic fields could provide a scientific basis for phenomena like collective consciousness or telepathy. The theory has been applied to explain instinctive behaviors in animals, such as the navigation abilities of migrating birds. Critics argue that the concept lacks empirical evidence and is not supported by mainstream scientific understanding. Supporters suggest that advancements in quantum physics may eventually provide a framework for understanding and testing morphogenetic fields. While controversial, the theory continues to intrigue those seeking alternative explanations for complex biological and psychological phenomena. Mortal ascendancy theory refers to the concept that a dying god created humanity as a final attempt to ensure divinity's continuation. This theory proposes that an all-powerful deity, facing its own mortality, invested its remaining energy into creating beings capable of eventually ascending to godhood themselves. Some proponents of this idea point to ancient myths and religious texts that hint at divine beings fearing their own demise or succession, such as the Greek myth of Zeus fearing his children would overthrow him. The theory finds parallels in scientific concepts like the omega point, proposed by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, which suggests humanity's ultimate evolutionary goal is to merge into a collective consciousness akin to godhood. Quantum physics' many worlds interpretation, proposing that all possible alternate histories and futures are real, is sometimes cited as indirect support for the possibility of a universe born from a divine entity's final act. Advocates of the mortal ascendancy theory argue that it offers a compelling explanation for humanity's innate drive towards self-improvement and transcendence, viewing it as an embedded divine imperative. Some followers of this concept believe that humanity's rapid technological advancements and increasing understanding of the universe are signs of our gradual approach towards a godlike state. Most drugs are benevolent refers to a fringe theory positing that the majority of substances classified as drugs have positive effects on human consciousness and society when used responsibly. Proponents of this view argue that many natural and synthetic compounds labeled as drugs can enhance creativity, promote self-reflection, and facilitate personal growth. They point to traditional uses of psychoactive plants in various cultures for spiritual and medicinal purposes as evidence of their potential benefits. Some adherents cite studies on the therapeutic potential of certain psychedelics in treating mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, and PTSD. The theory challenges conventional drug scheduling systems, suggesting that many substances are misclassified due to political and social factors rather than scientific evidence. Supporters often highlight the potential of cannabis in pain management and its lower risk profile compared to many prescription medications. They argue that the negative consequences associated with drug use are largely due to prohibition and lack of education rather than inherent dangers of the substances themselves. Mothman refers to a cryptid creature reportedly sighted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, during the 1960s, described as a large, winged humanoid with glowing red eyes. Witnesses claim the Mothman stands around 7 feet tall, with a wingspan of up to 10 feet, and possesses the ability to fly at high speeds without flapping its wings. The first widely publicized Mothman sighting occurred on November 15, 1966, when 2 couples reported encountering the creature near an abandoned World War II munitions plant. Over the following year, numerous sightings were reported in the Point Pleasant area, coinciding with other strange phenomena such as UFO sightings and electrical disturbances. Some believers associate the Mothman with the collapse of the Silver Bridge on December 15, 1967, which resulted in 46 deaths, viewing the creature as a harbinger of disaster. Skeptics propose that the Mothman sightings may have been misidentifications of large birds, such as sandhill cranes or barn owls, possibly enhanced by mass hysteria. Proponents of the Mothman's existence point to the consistency of descriptions across multiple independent witnesses and the creature's apparent ability to instill fear in observers. The Mothman phenomenon has parallels in other cultures, with similar winged humanoid creatures reported in various parts of the world, suggesting a possibly universal archetype or unexplained entity. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. The left link takes you to more clips like this. The right link takes you to the full episodes these are from. Thanks for watching.